Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great morning. I hope you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button on my videos. This community is for all of us, and the more we like and comment on it and share it out on Facebook or X or wherever, the uh, further out the community goes, the more people maybe will comment in the comment section and subscribe and that sort of thing. That would be really nice. Uh, Today, I'm just gonna take it easy. I've I've tried and tried to control things, and I get on here and I talk about letting God take control, and I don't know, it just creeps up on me, and I think it's the devil tries to get me to take over, so I push God aside. And, the devil is a crafty old thing, and if he'll attack you from any direction he can. I know he attacks me in so many ways. He puts doubt in my head. He puts fear in my head. He puts worry in my head, and so I can spend the whole day sometimes sitting here worrying about things and being scared about how the world is right now and how our country is right now. Um, and I can try and control things and make things better and you know make sure we're all set for if the worst happens and all this stuff. That's all the devil creeping in on me. That's the devil trying to take over and split me away from God. And, sometimes it starts working, and then I got to realize no, turn back to God. That's not to say don't ever try and prepare for anything. That's to say leave it in God's hands. He will help you to prepare what you need, and anything that He hasn't helped you to prepare with, He will take care of. And that's for anything in life, whether it's a medical procedure that might need to be done, or whether it's taking care of an ill member, or, you know, whether it's, getting a few groceries from the grocery store, or going shopping for a massive amount of things. God will prepare you. God will take care of you as long as you don't push him to the side and let that devil creep in. And I know sometimes that's a hard thing to do, to keep the devil from attacking you, because he's going to find my for me, he finds my most vulnerable point at the time, and he attacks it. He does everything he can to create fiction and problems and try and do it in a way that I don't realize it's him doing it. When I do realize it, that's when I say, okay, I gotta change, you know, from what I'm doing because it's not working. And that tends to lead me back to God. But, you know, when I kind of put God aside and I let the devil veer me off track, then who's to say that ain't the wrong time to do that? And it may be my time, and then I got to explain to God when I get down on my knees in front of Him, and I confess my sins, why I let the devil attack me and why I let the devil win. So I know that the devil does that, and I know I need to stand up to the devil and say, I have God on my side. God will protect me. God will fight my battles for me. You know, I rebuke you in the name of God. Get behind me. You're not going to take over me. And sometimes it's hard for us to see that Satan is attacking us and Satan is trying to take us over until after he's already done it. Boy, I just can't remember to shut that off when I'm making a video. I apologize for that. Excuse me for that too. Um, you know, when Satan attacks us, sometimes we don't see it. Sometimes he does it in a way that we see as a good thing. So and not that Satan's attacking us, but we don't even realize it's him attacking us. He offers us all kinds of good and glorious things that, in a way that we think it may be coming from God or from a good place or something. And it, in actuality, it's Satan leading us slowly away from God. He's taken everything we know of God and everything we know of the good of God and the grace of God, and he's manipulating it into a way that we think that that's what he's offering when actually he's luring you away from God. And so, really, Satan is crafty, and and realizing what's actually happening and what you're being offered are not necessarily the same thing. And even if you're being offered the exact same thing that you really want, do you really look at the source of what's promising it or where it's coming from and see if it's God handing it to you or if it's not? And if God is putting you someplace that you look at and you wonder what is going on here because it doesn't look right, you got to ask yourself, does God want you in that situation so you can help somebody or so that you can be there for somebody? You know, God puts us in places that are bad to help them to turn out good. And the devil can put us in good places that we think are good, but they're really bad. And, kind of deciphering between what is good coming from God or what looks bad coming from God for us to be there for Him to use to turn good. And realizing it comes from God. And even though it's good for us, and even though we're going to get everything we want, and we're going to be able to do whatever we want, is it coming from God to lure, or is it coming from the devil to lure us away from God? Because the devil, he'll hand you things, everything you want. He'll give you everything you want in the world and take your soul as payment. And, you've got to see, is that really what you want to do? Is that really what's happening? Has the devil got you buffaloed into thinking that, um, thinking that he is good, that he's promising you the world and he's going to deliver and he is good? Is that really what's happening? Or is it coming from God? Is is it something great from God because you showed God, you trusted Him, you have 100% complete faith in Him, you have prayed to Him earnestly for good to be in your life, for success to come in life, and we really have to try and look at each situation like, is it good or evil? You know, and for me, a lot of times the evil comes in ways of worry and stress and, feeling everything's going to fall apart and go bad. And the good don't come in until I push them thoughts aside and quit trying to take over to get rid of them thoughts and turn it over to God to let Him take over and handle anything that I'm letting stress me out or I'm letting, upset me or worry me or, anything I'm trying to take charge of because I can't stand how out of control I feel about it. So and I know that's the devil creeping up and doing all that to me. I know that when I try and do something and I feel like it's just going really horrible, the solution is to stop doing it myself and turn it over to God. Not let the devil find his way of promising me all kinds of good so that it's worth standing up and fighting and trying to control it and, do what the devil says I need to do to be successful because that's not making me successful. That's turning me against God. So, uh, he can do it on a grand scale and promise you lots of material success or you know political success or financial success or you know uh, workplace success. He may promise you the happiest home in the world, but when the devil does that, you know he's just using that as a way to try and lure you from God. And when you ask God for these things and you come to Him earnestly and you pray to Him and you tell Him what you'd like to have or what you'd like to happen, He will do it if you come to Him earnestly and you let Him know. But don't we don't go to Him saying, "Well, if you give me this, I'll do that." You know, so many people say, um, I'll take their pain if you'll let me. And then, if God chooses not to do that, then they automatically say, um, well, God didn't spare them and put it on me. Well, maybe He did in other ways. Maybe you might not have felt the physical, but there might have been something there that He spared them from and put on you so they had the ability to heal. And, when we try and take over and we say, uh, we're going to do it, and that's where I'm at. And I've been stuck here for a long time. And I'll go 3 or 4 days and do really good about letting God handle it. But one little hiccup that probably don't even exist most of the time, and I jump right in there and take over like God's not doing it right. We can't do that and have full faith in God. That's when you start showing that you don't have faith in God because you tried to take over what you thought He couldn't do. And just because you don't see it, maybe uh, you didn't see the pain He's up in somebody you asked to take the pain for, and you didn't feel it, where you were feeling more pain. Maybe there was in other ways than just physical pain. So God will take care of us. God will answer our prayers. And when God takes charge and you let Him take over, things will come out the way they're meant to come out. It may not be what we expect or what we want, but they will come out the way they're supposed to. And I don't, that's just a real rough struggle for me right now, and I got things hitting me from all over. I don't go into the medical in this household too much, but our household does have some issues here that are medical. We have family members on both her side and my side that have, things going on medically. We have other things going on. Finances are probably a little bit better, and that's a positive, and that's something we should look at and thank God for, and use uh, um, as a way to know God is there and He does good by us, because our finances were not too good for a long time, and and I prayed and prayed, and finances, as I prayed, they would get better a little bit at a time, and the more I prayed, the better they got. And now we're doing all right financially, but we have so many other things, and I keep when I try and take control of them and get them figured out and do what I think is going to work, and then it falls through. I get discouraged and disappointed. When I leave things to God and I ask God, what do we do? He offers up answers and solutions, and recognizing them offers and them solutions come from God. Sometimes that's hard, especially when we see that our choices could end up being more harmful than good. But we have to believe that if God offered that up, He has a reason for it, and He's not going to put us in a situation that He isn't going to protect us from harm. He will protect us from harm. So we just got to know that God is there, and we turn it over to Him, and good will be done. And that's something I struggle with daily. I do a lot better than I used to. It was for years, I would never turn it over to God. I always felt like I had to be the one that took care of everything. I had to be the one that come up with the solutions. I had to be the one to do what needed to be done. And I do turn things over a lot more to God. And sometimes I get a little, uh, I don't know, I just kind of veer away from God a little bit. And I know it's the devil doing it. So I've just gotta have my faith in God, and just gotta live it every day. So that's what I'm working on these days, is knowing that I have to trust and believe in God and know God is there, and know if I let God take over, in the end everything will work out great. And then when I do kneel in front of God and confess to Him what I have to confess, I know where my home will be, because I will do my best to not commit any sins, and to uh, have faith and trust and belief in God. Know God is there. Know He is everything. He's just everything. And putting my trust and faith in Him is my last big step, or, well, not necessarily my last big step, but it is a big step, and I'm working on it, and He knows that. So He's helping me with it. So I gotta tell that old devil to shoo, get away, get behind me. God has my back. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Uh, I know you're probably tired of hearing about this struggle I have, but it is my big struggle. It is a really big struggle. So the devil he's attacking me from my vulnerable spot, being able to let control go and let God have it. So um, y'all have a great day. And before you totally get away from this video, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I would really appreciate that. Share it out on Facebook or X or wherever. That would be really great. Y'all have a great day. Goodbye.